Hello everyone. Welcome. 2 days ago was July 4th. Happy 4th of July. I'm late, but hey, whatever. Today we're going to be talking about part 2 of my last video. We're going to be doing Special Strike Rebellion this time. We have explained in the last video, starting with the Holiday Special Arc, and then we talked about Special Strike, the original 2019 version. Now this time, we're going to be talking about Special Strike Rebellion. My name is Dr. Springlock, and welcome to another video. Now, to catch you up on what happened in the last episode, I explained what happened in Special Strike. Now, in Special Strike, there was a war going on between the chief and his army and the Memeverse. Of course, neither side won and both sides lost by all of them dying. Some survived, but a lot of them died, especially our main character, Freddy. Now, in Special Strike Rebellion takes place immediately after that, with Springtrap and Ennard, who are trying to find survivors. They find Foxy and Withered Bonnie, who apparently survived the explosion. And we also get introduced to the Candy Crew, which consists of Candy, Rat, Cat, Vinny, and Penguin. I believe Penguin was in there too. I have no idea. So, they're trying to look for Blank and Cindy, who have experienced being captured by the Shadow Army and still are in cages back at the base. Springtrap and the others are currently trying to find a place to, regroup. Like, they're trying to regroup after everything that has happened. So, of course, they try to find a safe house where they can, harbor and be able to use as a base. And so, they find an old safe house nearby and they take ownership of it. Now, I already explained it in the last episode that flashbacks were happening in this one. Like flashbacks that are part of the timeline of this story. Springtrap experiencing what he had to go through with Chief in creating the Shadow Army. So, we are revealed, it's revealed to us, the audience, that QXR or RXQ, the Shadow Bonnie, main Shadow Bonnie, has a new form called QXR, which QXR's goal is to rebuild the Shadow Army. The Chief was very, very specific with his plan, and if they were to fail, QXR will save everyone. Now on to the next thing. We are introduced to Glitchtrap. Glitchtrap has a little history with another villain of the story called The End, who has been in the shadows since the beginning. I talked about in the last episode. Now, The End, he currently is, like I said, in the shadows, and he hires Glitchtrap to pretty much reset everyone back to what they usually were before all this happened, before they started jumping through dimension by dimension, by universe, and so Glitchtrap finally awakens and leaves the entire dimension he was currently in, imprisoned. He was imprisoned. So after he was imprisoned, like I said, he escaped, and he currently has some kind of weapon in his arsenal. I have no idea what that is, but I will do some research in the future to figure out what that is. But after awakening, he has a plan of his own, and so he's looking for something. I think he's looking for animatronics to reset The End told him to, and then he finds Cat. But before all this happened, they saw Glitchtrap roaming around, and they trying to figure out if he's an enemy or an ally. So they hatch a plan to ambush him, and they successfully do it with some funny tactics where Cat has to act like he is dead, and he is going to be the bait for Glitchtrap. So Glitchtrap gets captured, his weapon is lost, and then Glitchtrap is currently as a hostage for our heroes. Now they question him, but he claims to be an ally who's trying to defend himself out there after the carnage has happened. They obviously let Glitchtrap go because of sympathy, but little did they know that they had just released pretty much one of the main antagonists of the story, and then he reveals that he was lying, of course, the entire time. And then it's revealed that he has allies of his own. He got many variants of Spring Bonnie. I see he got Into the Pit Spring Bonnie. He got a Shadow Glitchtrap or something. And he got a little Grim Reaper type Glitchtrap character. Like, these characters are not explained throughout the entire story. How they get here, I guess the end created them as to be helpers for Glitchtrap. But really, honestly, they didn't need to be there. They were just there as to add more characters. Like, you got the wallpaper of Special Strike Rebellion, and you see him like he has a bigger impact within the story, but he does not. He literally just stands there and waits for Glitchtrap to, tell him what to do, which is very bad. Though I'm really going ahead of myself with that part with Glitchtrap and all that. We forgot about QXR. Now, before Candy and the crew arrived at the base, they were attacked by QXR, who was looking for pieces of the hand of the nightmare. Like, it looks like a nightmare hand that Chief was wearing in the last one. Like, the pieces were spread out across the city, and some are keeping within their arsenal, and QXR wants them so he can revive the Chief. So he fails to get some because the animatronics have them, but he finds some, and then he currently is a couple steps closer to building Chief again. So, of course, he's outnumbered and he needs help. So he rebuilds Shadow Freddy. Now, I want to apologize. I am literally improvising something new because it's insane. Now, Springtrap is trying to rebuild Chica, and after QXR builds General Shadow Freddy, they now get into getting those fingers. Yet I'm gonna call them fingers. It's not really said what it is called, but it's like a arm, a nightmare arm, that helps control mechs or has a secret power. It's not really explained, really. So, the animatronics, now that they have united with the Candy crew, and now they're one big group, they now go out to find more survivors, and that is the biggest step toward regrouping and taking the fight to QXR, who is currently out there. Now QXR is watching them because he knows that someone's got a piece of one of the finger pieces, and so he waits for the right moment to attack. Now, meanwhile, Endo one with a hat or something, completely meaningless, pointless character, but just a survivor there, just to add another plot convenience. He gets captured by Glitchtrap and his gang, and he's completely never mentioned or seen again. He's never, unless he is seen in a future scene, I need to look back into it. Now, this is when QXR decides to attack, and he has Ennard and another character, Security Puppet. I believe it was Security Puppet, right? Alright, Ennard and Security Puppet are captured and put as hostages to be able to obtain the pieces of the finger pieces. I really need to give them names. In the comment section below, give them names, please. Now, Springtrap is warned about this happening Foxy continues on working on Chica. Now, earlier, General Shadow Freddy actually followed them to their base and managed to gain a piece from Springtrap. After Springtrap, tries to convince General Shadow Freddy that he shouldn't follow QXR's orders. He is now a free animatronic who is no longer commanded, whether he commands himself now. But General Shadow Freddy believes that he's still loyal to the chief, so he is believing the lie that the chief still wants him to obey him, even though the chief is currently dead and the Shadow Army is still dead as well, which is something that QXR is supposed to do, but it literally changed up everything, which is a plot hole on another plot hole. You guys let me know if that's a plot hole. That is something that you decide. So fast forward, after everything I just said earlier, General Shadow Freddy has a change of heart and he tries to betray QXR, but unfortunately fails and dies in the process. Now, how he dies is that his hat, his general hat, is taken off his head, which is pretty much his life source, which he goes online when it's placed on him and is taken off. When it's taken off, he goes offline. Before QXR could kill anyone else, he is interrupted by a returning Chester. Chester is an animatronic from the Candy Crew who was pretty much on vacation. I think they never explained where he's been all this time. Unless they explained it in like another Candy's episode, like a special. But as far as I'm making this video, I don't know. How about in the comment section below, you guys let me know if they actually explained that. So Chester and his army of monkeys attack QXR, and Chester is able to hold his own against QXR pretty well. I thought Chester would get bodied, but Chester was actually holding his own. That isn't until QXR realizes that he is outnumbered again, so he escapes and with the final piece revives Chief. But the difference between the Chief before and the Chief now is that this Chief is more menacing looking. He looks more of a nightmarish, twisted, sinister creature whose only goal is to destroy everything it sees. It's pretty much a mindless beast that follows QXR as guidance. As this has happened, Chica has finally been restored but has amnesia. Great, another amnesia story. I'm sorry, but Chica is the most useless character in this entire film. It really pissed. Unfortunately, Chief is too powerful, so everyone has to leave through the portals. And while they leave, the one who's distracting them and facing them right now in a battle to the death is Jimmy, who is a combination of Glitchtrap and Jimmy Neutron. So QXR and Chief, after they defeated Jimmy, they go through many different portals to look for the animatronics. But after a very long segment where we have to go through many different universes, once again like the first film, which is something that I don't think I wanted to see. No offense to Walston, but did it have to be that long? We could have multiple other universes that we have not seen before. We could have seen the Sagku 37 universe or something with his permission. We could have seen many different universes explored after they possibly been discontinued since a while and find out what have they been doing. But unfortunately, we got more Walston. Well, fortunately, but I have no disrespect to Walston. Great animator, great SFM animator. He plays an excruciating part. Is that the right word to use? Amazing part in the SFM community, and he should be praised for it. Now, after that long segment, I'm glad that so many of us agree. Now, once again, let me continue. After the QXR going through many dimensions, we finally get to see the animatronics of what they're doing. So they plan to attack Chief and QXR while they're not looking and try to plan things out. So they go back but they are ambushed by QXR and Chief because they know everything. And so, like, with all hope that is lost, it appears that Penguin and Chester have grabbed an army of their own, like Bond from the Walton Files, and many other animatronics from the Meanverse and the Multiverse. Piss me off. Now, and Chief is facing Jimmy again in a battle to the death, which is the same thing. Now, in the shadows, we got Glitchtrap, who's thinking that this is all going according to plan until everything does not go according to plan, and he eventually has to take action. He finds the weapon, and Chica finally gets her memory back, but gets defeated and destroyed once again, and gets taken to a new dimension where she meets the end. Now, this is the only part that Chica plays that is important to the story, but it's also pointless in the story. Like, the end and Chica, pretty much, this scene could have been taken out and we could have saved so much time. Like, this doesn't explain anything except for the end playing a part in the end, which is could have been done without Chica. But I guess the end wanted an animatronic to do it so she can be responsible for the blame. But I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. Now, before I forget, Godzilla returns to face the revived Shadow Mech from the last one. They have another rematch, and Glitchtrap uses the weapon to erase Chief completely, like reset him completely, and then they resurrect Chief once again, and now he's under the control of Glitchtrap, and Chief kills QXR, which was a crazy sight to see. But that's possibly the only part that actually shocked me, because I thought QXR was going to live throughout this entire film. The fact that QXR gets killed again and he doesn't have a third form, which means that QXR or RXQ is finally gone. And so the Chief is about to go after the other animatronics until Glitchtrap now has a new form of his own, and it looks like a praying mantis thing that I pretty much think that was just, what the hell is that thing? Why does it exist? Just get it off my screen. Like, everything is so all over the place, and it's so messy that multiple plot lines are colliding at once, and it causes a messy story, and it makes even though when we watch it the first time, we're all caught up in the excitement because we have waited so long for this film. But if you actually rewatch it again, but this time having the goal to understand it more and see what faults and pros it has, you literally figure out that this part really is messy. Like, you can see it. And then after Glitchtrap he has victory in the palm of his praying mantis palms or arms, but it's taken from him by the end, who takes Glitchtrap and all of his allies, except for some who managed to escape. Like, I think one escaped, but we'll get to that later. Now, with Glitchtrap gone and the entire world back to normal after Glitchtrap has been defeated, Chief decides to attack Springtrap. Springtrap is pretty much on the verge of dying. Foxy tries to go and save him, but then he is stopped by revived animatronics. So, pretty much something that is unexplained, but I think the end has something to do with this. He pretty much destroys any impact that the first film has and brings back every single animatronic who died in the first one. For example, Freddy. Freddy should have stayed dead. Honestly, it should have been like a Avengers Infinity War and Endgame situation where Iron Man dies in the second one, spoiler, and he doesn't come back ever again. Like, unless they find a way to resurrect him, which would destroy any impact that it had in the previous films. But Freddy's death in the first one really was impactful because of the bond between Freddy and Golden Freddy, which also known as the Chief, was such a big deal and a big plot line, a plot that was built up through like the entire first Special Strike and the specials. Like, you know that Freddy and Golden Freddy are very close. Now, Freddy returns to see that his old friend is too far gone, and then just gives up on Golden Freddy and just leaves him there to be taken down by the rest of the animatronics. But Chief is not going to go down without a fight, so he tries to kill Freddy, but is stopped by Siren Head, which I think was just corny, and just gets banished to a different universe. Now, that's the end of Chief, but I don't think that should be the end of Chief. I think there should be more about the Chief, but we'll leave that to later. So, after all of that, the end comes out and just like,
fine, I'll do it myself.
Fine, I'll do this myself. The end decides to take matters into his own hands and literally takes everyone and puts them back into their own respective universes. And then everything is just resetted, just like that. All the animatronics are normalized and they're all like fresh again. Like, they have new designs and everything. Now their one goal right now is to search for Chief, who is currently running around in another universe, which is something that they should have thought of before they threw him into a different multiverse. But anyway, guys, and then it just ends with like Freddy just saying that if anyone else decides to attack them or face them, it's going to be defeated because they are ready for them. And then it just left us in, that's it. I think the ending was like there's so many things left unexplained in this film. Like, I gave the film so much credit in the comparison video, and now I really want to point out that the ending was so messy that I got confused. And then we got a cliffhanger of this new character, which I'm not going to talk about unless you guys want it for another video. But that is the end of Special Strike Rebellion for now. Like, and there's so many things that were left unexplored, and it just really bothers me. And so that's all I have to say. And I want to thank literally the Hottest Dog for this entire film. Like, this is one of the first Five Nights at Freddy's films, like fan-made films, that actually reached over two hours. Like, it's an actual film. And there are a lot of things that I have missed. Like, we got Foxy's Nightmare. Like, I don't know what was the point of that if they're not going to add that to the... If they're going to do that for another special, like explaining that nightmare where Foxy was experiencing like another variant of himself, like a twisted version of him. Like, they never explained that, and I pretty much left that out the window because I didn't care. And we got Derpy Horse's universe tease, where Derpy Horse is like he now knows about the multiverse, and he's gonna like be he could possibly use this as his advantage. Like, he potentially take over an entire universe. Like, Derpy Horse could possibly be the next villain could be a possible villain in the future. But I really appreciated it. Like, it was a great film, except that it just had its problems. Now, if I was a very professional and a very much more smarter person, like when it comes to this type of things, I will explain a lot more in depth, but I explained as much as my mind could tell, and I hope you guys enjoyed that.